Good evening, everyone. Let me start with a quick question. Have you ever made a decision and feel like it was completely your own, but maybe it wasn't? A lot of the things that shapes our lives are actually hard to see. They're quiet, subtle, and easy to ignore. And that's why this year's theme is Invisible Forces. The hidden things that influence how we think, how we act, and who we become. So, today isn't about giving answers, it's about noticing what's already there. Please welcome Rita with her talk, Love Spoken with Care.
Good evening, everyone. Let me begin with two conversations I had on the same day. In the afternoon, I was sitting at a restaurant. It was quiet. Sunlight was coming through the window and everything felt calm. Then suddenly, the waiter accidentally spilled water all over the table. For a second, I saw the panic in his eyes. Even though it's already ruined my good mood, I still thought that, oh, he didn't mean to do that. So I smiled and said, "It's okay, no worries." I even nodded, just to make sure he felt okay. But that morning, something much smaller happened. After finishing my homework, I happily laid down on the bed, opened the game, and ready to relax with my friends. But then, my mom's voice reached my ears. "Oh, Rita, why are you playing games again? Did you finish your homework?" My first thought was not understanding, but why don't you trust me? So I replied, "Why do you keep asking me again? I already told you that I finished." The words came out quickly, almost automatically. But right after I said them, I knew they didn't feel right. Same person, same day, two completely different reactions. Now, I want you to think for a second. Have you ever done the same thing? Have you ever been patient with a stranger, but impatient with someone you actually care about? You don't have to raise your hands, but I'm pretty sure most of us have been there. And that made me ask myself a difficult question. Why are we sometimes nicer with strangers than with the people close to us? The first reason is the paradox of safety. When we're with strangers, we manage ourselves more carefully. We pay attention to our tone, we filter our reactions, and we try to stay polite. Because we don't want others to hate us, obviously, and we don't want them to judge us in a negative way. However, with the people close to us, we feel safe. And because we feel safe, we lower our guard. That sounds positive, right? But here's the paradox. The same safety that allows closeness can also make us less careful. We spread our stress more easily. Our frustration comes out faster, and even our impatience feels more acceptable. But safety is not the same as permission. There's also another reason, which is expectation. The more someone matters to us, the more we expect from them. According to two psychologists, Nicholas C. and James K., common sources of conflict involve unmet expectations and unresolved conflict, and stress associated with conflict can even put most satisfying relationships at risk. In reality, we always expect others to understand our tone, our stress, and our silence. Sometimes we even expect them to understand us without saying it clearly. But people cannot read minds. And when expectations meet misunderstandings, small moments turn to conflict. Maybe that question at home wasn't distrust. It was only concern. When we encounter strangers, we always assume that they are honest and trustworthy. But with our loved ones, we tend to view them from the worst possible perspective. We gave strangers the benefit of doubt because we have nothing to lose. But with our loved ones, we gave them the worst interpretation because we have everything to lose. And that is not only a personal problem, it is also a social problem. Our society celebrates strangers. We praise volunteers, we honor heroes, but no one has ever taught us how to be nice with the people around us. So at this point, here's our challenge. Not simply to be kind when the world is watching, but to be careful when it is not. Because the people close to us live in the atmosphere of our words. Think about that question again. Did you finish your homework? The same phrase could sound like criticism. Oh, I don't trust you. Or worry. I'm just scared that we'll leave it until the last minute and rush through it. Or even love. I just want to make sure that you won't stay up too late tonight. The words don't change, but the way we say them, the way we listen, changes everything. Because every family teaches a language of love. Every friendship teaches a habit of listening, and every close relationships become small classrooms where people learn what respect sounds like. And now, this question becomes practical. What can we actually do? With parents, when a simple question sounds like pressure, instead of reacting immediately and yelling at them, we can try to pause for a second and then reply, "Oh, I get it, I'll finish it soon." This can show your respect, not anger. With friends, when they say something feels hurtful, instead of assuming the worst, we can try to ask, "Wait, what do you mean by that?" Sometimes, these small clarifications can prevent a misunderstanding from turning to distance. With siblings or with the people who live with us every day, maybe it's important to pay attention to our tone. Not to change what we say, but to change how we say them. These are not big actions, but over time, it will shape how a relationship feels like. And that is the invisible force behind all kinds of healthy relationships. So perhaps a better society is not only built through big ideas, but small acts of restraint, clarity, and kindness. Maybe love is not only showing what we feel. Maybe it is showing whether we're willing to make the familiar feel worthy of care. Because in the end, the greatest test of our character may not be how we treat strangers for a moment, but how we treat people who trust us with their everyday lives. Thank you.